Now at 10, President Biden touts his economic policies in his second State of the Union address. Plus, how the cold weather is making it harder for crews to repair roads. And Freeman Health System gives people a chance to learn a life-saving technique.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
President Biden delivered his second State of the Union to a joint session of Congress tonight. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. The president laid out his accomplishments of the past 2 years and said he's ready to work with Republicans over the next 2 years to tackle the challenges facing our nation. Reporter Skylar Henry is on Capitol Hill with details.
The President of the United States.
President Biden began his second State of the Union highlighting the economic progress America has seen since he took office.
2 years ago, the economy was reeling. I stand here tonight after we've created, with the help of many people in this room, 12 million new jobs.
A CBS News poll found many Americans say the president's policies are making inflation, gas prices, and the overall economy worse. Mr. Biden touted several accomplishments that he says are making a difference.
Because we came together and passed a bipartisan infrastructure law. Projects that are going to put thousands of people to work rebuilding our highways, our bridges, our railroads, our tunnels.
This was President Biden's first address to a divided Congress since Republicans took control of the House. He asked the GOP to help finish the economic recovery. When the president said several Republicans want to cut Social Security and Medicare, he received pushback from the GOP side of the room and then spun it in his favor.
We got unanimity.
Among the special guests sitting with First Lady Jill Biden were the parents of Tyree Nichols, whose death last month reignited calls for police reform.
Let's do what we know in our hearts that we need to do. Let's come together to finish the job on police reform.
On the international front, the president doubled down on support for Ukraine and called out China for flying a surveillance balloon over the U.S.
If China threatens our sovereignty, we will act to protect our country, and we did.
The president's high-profile address to the nation comes as he gets closer to announcing his re-election bid. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders tonight delivered the Republican response. She said President Biden surrendered his presidency to a woke mob and is, quote, doubling down on crazy. Huckabee Sanders said we are under attack in a left-wing culture war we didn't start and never wanted to fight. And she said the Biden administration is disconnected from mainstream America. The state of Missouri this evening executed a man who murdered 4 people, including 3 children. Raheem Taylor was executed by lethal injection for the deaths of his live-in girlfriend, Angela Rowe, and her 3 children ages 5, 6, and 10 in 2004. The execution is the third from Missouri in 3 months, following those of Kevin Johnson and Amber McLaughlin. Let's check in with meteorologist Sam Lane for a first look at the weather.
Thank you very much, Dow. It's been a rainy day across the 4 states for a lot of folks, especially down to the south and along Interstate 44, and that's where the rain is right now, stretching from southwestern Missouri right down into northeast Oklahoma. Closer in view shows the heavier rain from south of Monette near Cassville over towards Pineville and Erie and down towards into Oklahoma near Jay. And rainfall amounts have been heavy, and as a result, a flood watch is in effect for Newton, McDonald, Lawrence, and Berry counties in our area, and some flood warnings are in effect for the Illinois River down near Watts in southern Delaware County. That goes until Thursday evening, so right now it looks like minor flooding with that. Temperatures this evening are going to drop through the 40s into the lower 40s by tomorrow morning, with the rain off and on overnight. And looking down the road, we're going to have a wet day tomorrow as well, and then maybe a mixture on Thursday morning and maybe some snow, and I'll tell you all about it in just a bit.
See you soon. City of Joplin gave us a sneak peek at how they manage the road conditions after winter storms. Vehicles like snowplows and street sweepers start working on the road right after our winter storm is over. If there's a pothole after the snow, well, the city temporarily fixes it. Asphalt factories are closed during winter months. The city does permanent hole fillings during the summer.
What you will see is during the summer months, that's when we do the, patching the potholes. You can't do the permanent patches in the wintertime because the asphalt plants are not open. So we have to wait, so we do temporary patches.
Pouring asphalt in cold weather will damage the road even more, and the asphalt, they say, will not set correctly. A hospital building turned home in Oswego is up for sale. When the building on 402 Ohio Street in Oswego was built during the Great Depression, it was a hospital originally. The city of Oswego built it under the Works Progress Administration. Now it's been turned into a house and is for sale.
And we were drawn to the building from the very beginning. I mean, it's a very quirky place because it was a hospital that kind of had been converted to other uses before we bought it. It had been used by Labette Community College. An individual had a museum here for a little while. So it had been kind of changed and had morphed into something different than a hospital.
The 21,000 square foot building is listed at $147,000. Freeman Health System gave people a chance to learn a life-saving technique, CPR. Freeman's screen team hosted the community-wide course. Officials say the collapse of Buffalo Bills player Damar Hamlin during a game was a reminder of the importance of knowing CPR, as it was critical in saving his life. Today's course covered adult, child, and infant CPR techniques.
Well, there is a proper way to do it. There's a hand placement, there's a depth that you have to get to, and you have to do a certain number of compressions and in a minute. And so we teach all those things in our class.
The course also detailed the use of an automated external defibrillator. Coming up, Ascension Via Christi in Pittsburgh is joining a pharmaceutical program to provide more affordable medication. Plus, why Honda is recalling more than 100,000 of its hatchbacks and SUVs. Ascension Via Christi Hospital in Pittsburgh is becoming a dispensary of hope site. That means it's joining a pharmaceutical program aimed at delivering critical medicine at little to no cost to people with low incomes. The program offers participants a way to order medications with free weekly shipping. Hospital officials say it's another way to achieve their mission of providing the best care possible.
Our care managers here at the hospital will now direct them through this program, and they will go through this program to get what they need to go home. So grandma is not struggling at the pharmacy trying to fill her Plavix, and she doesn't have the money to pay for her heart medication, but she can get that free and be able to take care of herself.
The Dispensary of Hope program started in 2007. Out of this world, that's the theme for this year's 5K and Walk for Autism hosted by Freeman Health System. The event will take place on Saturday, April 22nd. It'll raise funds to support program development and scholarship assistance at the Bill and Virginia Leffen Center for Autism. The Freeman 5K started as a way to get employees exercising with coworkers and families, but evolved to support a variety of programs over the years.
So I would love for us to reach $50,000. That's kind of where we'd like to be. Help support our program development so that we can provide ABA services to individuals on the spectrum.
This is the 16th year of the Freeman 5K and the third year that the walk has supported the Leffen Center. Vitamin D may help lower the risk of diabetes for some vulnerable patients. Researchers at Tufts University found higher vitamin D intake was associated with a lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes for about 10 million adults who have prediabetes. Researchers say patients should discuss potential benefits and harms of vitamin D supplements with their doctor. Being married could help you maintain a lower blood sugar level. That's according to a new study in the BMJ journal, which found people living with a spouse have a higher likelihood of having healthy levels of blood sugar. The research found the same was true among married couples, regardless of whether or not the marriage was harmonious. The study looked at adults age 50 and older and determined having a spouse or a cohabitating partner may play a role in your health in mid to later life. Honda is recalling more than 114,000 vehicles for backup camera displays that might not work when the vehicle is in reverse, and that's kind of the point. The recall involves two 2018 to 2020 Fit hatchbacks and 2019 to 2022 HRV SUVs. The malfunction is the result of a faulty audio system circuit, and it only involves vehicles with an ignition key, not a push-button start. Honda says it is aware of just over 200 warranty claims related to the issue, but so far at least no injuries. A new report shows U.S. consumers might be getting more cautious about spending money. Numbers from the Federal Reserve show outstanding credit grew by about $11.5 billion in December. That's the lowest increase since January of 2021 and well below expectations. An analyst with Bankrate says consumers are becoming reluctant to buy expensive physical goods. Spending on services like meals out and travel has been more robust. A single ticket matched all the winning numbers for last night's Powerball jackpot of over $754 million. That ticket was sold in Washington State. The lucky numbers, which you do not have, were 5, 11, 22, 23, 69, and the winning Powerball number was 7. The winner can choose an annuitized prize or a lump sum of $407 million, which really isn't still too bad. According to the game's website, it is the 5th largest prize in its history and is the first Powerball jackpot win this year. A little bit later, the Carthage High School dance team gets a special send-off as they head to a national dance competition.
And we're also going to take a look at radar and let you know how long the rain's going to last, and also what about the chance of snow. Details when we come back. Well, some of our folks in the area had quite a bit of rain today, and more rain is on the way. Right now, let's take a look outside at Indigo Sky Casino and Resort down in Sitka, Missouri. Pretty nice night, wet pavement down there. The high was 49 today after a start of 42, so we stayed in the 40s all day long. So it was a short thermometer, which was actually pretty close to the normal high of 48, but the low normally is 27. And of course, we weren't anywhere close to that, nor were we close to the records. Rainfall amounts were very generous, especially down towards the south. And you can see that generally right now we're looking at over 2 inches in Pineville, also in Cassville. Same thing over in Branson, close to that in Bentonville. Then lighter amounts to the north and west. And in fact, some areas hardly received any precipitation at all, especially our friends up in northwestern parts of our viewing area. But more rain is on the way. In fact, here's a look at the radar over the last 4 hours. You can see that most of the rain has basically been along and south of I-44, and that's going to continue through the overnight hours, but another wave of precipitation is going to form down to the south and will envelop the entire area as we go through the day tomorrow. Here's a look at the storm system right now. You can see moisture extending all the way down into northern Mexico. Here's the next storm system that's starting to move into the northern parts of the Rockies, and yet another storm system out in the Pacific Ocean that's going to be heading our way as well. So we have quite a parade of storms to deal with this coming week. Right now we're sitting at 42 degrees, northeast wind at 3, so it feels like 42. Dew point is 38, so the humidity is high at 85%, and the pressure is currently steady. Temperatures right now are in the 30s in the northwestern sections like Parsons with 34. It's freezing now in Neodesha, 40 in Oswego, 40s down to the south as well in Cassville and in Bella Vista, where they've had most of the rainfall today. And taking a look at the next 36 hours, we're going to have a high chance of rain all day tomorrow. And then as we go into tomorrow night and Thursday morning, there is an opportunity for us to get a mixture of rain and snow across our area. And we're going to break it down for you. Temperatures tonight are going to drop into the 30s and 40s, basically right where they are now, with another wave of rain moving up from the south and west. And then as we go through the day, notice we have this storm system in Oklahoma with temperatures in the 40s and a widespread area of rain. Then as we go through the day, that takes off towards the north and east. But look at this area of snow that develops on the back side of that system, with temperatures in the 30s across our area, and then that system moves away, and then we start to clear out a little bit with temperatures in the 30s by Thursday morning. But then Thursday afternoon, we see increasing clouds ahead of the next storm system with highs in the upper 40s to around 50 degrees. And then as we go through Thursday night and Friday morning, another band of precipitation forms, and this one looks like it's mainly going to be in the form of snow. Light snow accumulations will be on the light side. Doesn't look to be a major problem as far as travel goes. Rainfall amounts are going to be the highest tonight and tomorrow down to the south and east, where they could pick up another couple of inches. So that's why the flood watch is in effect. Lighter amounts to the north and west. Here's a look at the bigger picture. Here's the storm system pulling out into the plains now. It's going to bring in some colder air just in time to meet up the next storm system that will move across our area as we go into Friday. And that's why we're looking at the chance of snow on Friday morning. Over the next 7 days, rain tomorrow, Maybe some snow late tomorrow night and early Thursday, but I think the better chance of light snow will be Friday morning. A nice weekend with temperatures in the 50s, and then Dow, as we head towards Valentine's Day, another round of rain across our area, and then colder, much colder after that.
We certainly don't want any flooding, but some areas
No.
still are pretty dry and could use
Southeast
some of the
Kansas
rain.
really needs the rain most of all.
That's for sure. Those farm
right.
ponds are pretty low.
Uh-huh.
Thanks, Sam. For years now, the War Wagon has carried family and friends to Arrowhead Stadium. Chief season ticket holders Chad Como, manager of Como Jewelry in Pittsburgh, and Chris Keller, manager of Joplin Como Jewelry, gear up for the big games. Their War Wagon will be taking a break during the Super Bowl this Sunday as the two celebrate at home with their families.
If there's a tradition, it's the War Wagon. It hauls all of our friends and family from Pittsburgh to and Joplin to Kansas City, and holds all of our gear and allows us to have a big tailgate.
Como and Keller have been season ticket holders for 16 years, and the War Wagon, not the only Chiefs memorabilia their friends own. They have quite a bit, particularly at that store in Pittsburgh. The Carthage High School dance team hit the road today. They're traveling to Orlando, Florida for a national dance competition. Now, before they left, the rest of the school gathered to wish them good luck.
Yes, we have a fantastic team. Our seniors, we have 5 seniors. They all have different captain roles. We don't have one captain because they're all such strong leaders. So not only are they really just phenomenal dancers, really talented, they're also really great students, and they're just really great leaders and really great teammates.
Finals for the competition will be Sunday. Also, a live stream is going to be available for purchase. We wish them well. Still ahead, the Neosho boys try to push their winning streak to 8 games against Joplin, and the Colgan girls aim to stay undefeated on the road against Riverton. Jacob Leonard has those highlights and a lot more coming up next.
Well, the St. Mary's Colgan girls basketball team is still undefeated. The Panthers have made it through their first 15 games without a loss, and they're currently ranked #1 in the state in Class 2A. And tonight, Colgan tries to stay perfect on the road against CNC rival Riverton. Starting off in the first quarter, high-low action with Lauren Torrance feeding Lily Brown. Brown finishes with the left. At that point, Colgan with a 10-5 lead. Now to the second quarter, ball is loose. Torrance kind of in the right place at the right time here. It's deflected right to her for the lay-in. That pushes the Panthers' lead to 7. Now, moments later, Colgan getting it done from outside as well. Freshman Jakayla Davis. She's going to be good for a long time. 3 ball there, but late in the fourth, we got a career milestone here. Davis to Torrance. Easy 2 for the Colgan senior, and that is her 1,000th career point. Colgan wins. Lauren Torrance finishes with 26 tonight, and she now sits at 1,001 career points.
It definitely means a lot. Like, it knows that my coaches put a lot of work into me, and my teammates know, and they push me every day to make me better. Definitely having their support, it means a lot, because then you know they're there, and they're very unselfish teammates. So they're pushing, they're like really wanting me to get it, so then having their support, knowing they want me to get it, was really good. They're all happy, and it's good to really know you have that support behind you.
In the boys' game, Colgan trying to make it a road sweep, but it is Riverton getting the job done this evening, 55-47. To Galena now, CNC matchup between the Bulldogs and Frontenac Raiders. Annie Lee, really good in the first quarter for Frontenac, knocks down the open 3 from the far corner. Then same thing from the other corner. Lee hits 3 threes in the first. Raiders lead by 11 after 1, but tonight it was about Hattie Pyle. The Frontenac senior drive, spin move through some traffic for 2, and that right there is the 1,000th career point for the Frontenac standout. And everybody knows it. Raiders win 56-43, and for Hattie Pyle, a career milestone.
When I was little, I just looked up and to all the other girls that would get it and stuff, and I just always kind of wanted to. It was just a relief, just because it's always kind of been a goal of mine to reach 1,000. Just 4 good years of basketball, and it's just nice to get my senior year.
In the boys' game, big one here. Galena 15-0, trying to stay unbeaten against the Raiders and sweep the season series. Bulldogs start fast in that one, finish it off tonight 55-41. On Southwest Missouri, the Neosho Wildcats put their 7-game winning streak on the line at home against Joplin. Check it out, big-time road win for the Eagles tonight. Joplin beats Neosho 76-69. The Kansas City Chiefs are just 5 days away from playing in the Super Bowl. The Chiefs face the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday night in Arizona, trying for their third Super Bowl title in franchise history. Now, both of these teams have actually won Super Bowls in the last few years. Eagles did it in 2018. The Chiefs won it all in 2020. Last 2 years, though, kind of ended in disappointment for Kansas City. They lost in the Super Bowl and lost in the AFC Championship. Now here's their quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, on what he's learned in those tough games.
I think the best thing I've learned as a quarterback at the quarterback position is not trying to do too much. Just whenever stuff's not going your way, like the last game, the Bengals game, where I had that dumb fumble in the fourth quarter, just not letting those mistakes compound each other and just getting back to the game plan and whatever I can do to have a positive play and trusting in my teammates. That's something that I've learned over these last few years is you can't do it all by yourself. It takes your teammates and the team around you.
It's always exciting when we get a 1,000-point score around here, but 2 tonight in Southeast Kansas. Lauren Torrance for Colgan and Hattie Pyle for Frontenac.
That's really remarkable. They still have some playing time to push those numbers a bit higher. We'll be right back. Scientists say Jupiter has some new bragging rights in our solar system. Besides being the largest planet by quite a bit, it also has the most moons. Astronomers recently discovered 12 more moons orbiting Jupiter. That brings the total of confirmed moons to 92 around that big gaseous planet. Astronomers use a high-powered telescope in Hawaii to discover the moons some months ago, and then they've reconfirmed that. So, indeed, 92 moons, at least. Still counting.
Our one.
Yes. Ours is kind of nice up there all night.
Ours is beautiful.
Yes.
It was fully the other night, and we're going to have, you're not going to see the moon tonight. We're going to see lots of rain, and that's going to continue into tomorrow, and then some snow on Friday morning. And I changed the forecast. After Valentine's Day, we may have yet another little chance of snow on Wednesday, the day after. So looks like winter is going to stick around for a little bit.
So, final sports note.
I told you Frontenac's Hattie Pyle reached 1,000 career points tonight. She finished with 24 in their game against Galena.
Very impressive. Thanks for joining us. Morning show starts at 5 a.m. Let's make it a great tomorrow.